shit. Wait. Hey. Hey, Alexander. Not Alexander. Uh, Mainly making this, got my internet back. Yay. I'm not entirely sure how the community button thing works. How you guys probably, yes or no, get notifications on that thing, or you just stumble across it. But that seemed to be the only way I could actually send out a message of that current situation. Without having to apparently invade a whole other person's internet space. But yeah, there's that. I'm basically making the stream to make up for the fact I wasn't able to do previous Friday's stream, and also it's pretty terrible actually. Christian, it's a pretty terrible Christmas Eve. Had to go to work, which involved me waking up at like 6 o'clock in the morning and driving through very cold weather on my electric bike, getting to work, and then standing around doing nothing because it's Christmas Eve and no one's gonna go to a friggin' sushi restaurant for their family on Christmas Eve. No. You have people going to restaurants and stuff, maybe for like Christmas Eve, like dinners and outings, but not sushi restaurants. So we're sitting there doing nothing. You got like 3 or 4 people coming in every so often, and thus wasting my time. Look, I like the free money basically of me just standing around doing nothing, and I'm just getting paid for it. But I would rather be at home, not having to endure the cold. And then it took me till like 7 o'clock to get home, in the same very cold weather on my bike that ran out of battery. So yeah, pretty shitty Christmas Eve. Probably the worst I've ever had in a while. So yeah, there's that. But thanks for asking. And Merry Christmas. Yeah, I wanted to make sure when I started the stream, I would at least start it and be able to stay on it until Christmas. On my end, right now it's 11:48. I don't know where you guys are and how your time zones work, so who knows what you guys are be going through. Yeah, I was lucky that our snow stopped. A lot of people, I really don't understand. Like people who like the cold, like you, Nick. I don't see how you like it. I understand there's probably some appeal to it, but I despise the cold. Like. Most of the main characters I ever draw about hate cold weather because it's supposed to be like a reflection of me and how I hate cold weather. How's the family? I'm gonna see. Well, I'm not gonna be able to see them during Christmas. I think I might be able to see them for like the last few hours of Christmas. But I'm gonna be leaving for New Orleans at 8 o'clock this morning, and I'm gonna be in Houston at some point, and I'm gonna get to New Orleans at another point. And I'm just gonna see how they are. I will be spending New Year's with them as well, at least. So that's good. So thanks for asking about that. They from what I've been hearing, and talking to them over the phone, they've been pretty good. Can't wait to see them. I haven't seen them in like over 10 months, almost a year. Almost didn't see him for an entire year. We haven't seen him until like almost last Thanksgiving. That's incredible. Yeah, I get that too. I also get like people, of course, would probably love the cold if they're used to it or they were raised in it and stuff like that, and or people who have just been enduring nothing but heat, and then when they finally get that cold weather, it's like, yeah, there we go. That's what I need. Oh, there she is. That's what I needed. As for me, I never complain about heat. I mean, like, period. I hate, I love the heat. The heat is my friend, and the cold is my enemy. I'd rather burn to death than freeze to death. Like that's how dedicated I am to heat. What's your favorite Christmas movie? The Grinch Stole Christmas is almost a nostalgic classic for me, so I gotta just go with that. If I had to really think about it, it'd probably be something else, but How the Grinch Stole Christmas was pretty much my childhood, and so I can't really pick anything. Good morning, bro. Any upload a reaction for Ruby and interact in your show soon. All right, I think this is a perfect time to do this. During the time that the internet was out and I was also doing my own thing, I was able to do all the Ruby episodes. I'm looking at it right here, looking at my video recordings. I was able to do all the Ruby episodes that I wasn't able to get to prove to you that I have watched them. Chameleon Girl Does a Thing, and Blake's Family is Boss. That's about all I can say without spoilers. Yeah, that's pretty much it. As I also did a reaction to NCH Productions Azrael video, and I did something else. I forgot what video. Oh, I did the latest Death Battle, Sephiroth versus Virgil. As for other shows, I was trying to get to Star Wars Forces of Evil, but then something dawned on me, and I don't know if it's okay to talk about it in the stream or should I just make it its own separate video. But a lot of stuff has been going on with me specifically, and I don't know how to really explain it without sounding like a depressed, wannabe, victimized person. So I think I'm just gonna save it for like its own separate video, so I can have like that be its own thing. I don't want to bother you guys with that now, but just know I am still doing videos, and it has nothing to do with me probably quitting YouTube or anything like that. No, it's not that serious, maybe, but that's about it. Where I live, it's hot all the time, and during the month it gets colder, only a few weeks, and then hot again. Again, I think it's also, I think the main reason why I hate the cold is because my interactions with the cold has always been negative. Like, every time it's cold, always something bad happens, and I'm always enduring it a lot longer than maybe even average people need to. And when heat comes by, I just love it. So I guess it's just, I'm the opposite effect of you guys who have nothing but heat and then get some cold every now and then. Yeah, me, I get cold all the time, and heat is just there. Man's not hot. What? I never complain about the heat. Man's not hot. I don't know what that is. Not Alexander. I like both the animated and the live action one. Yeah, I like the live action one too. A lot of people give it some flack, mostly Nostalgia Critic, but a lot of people give it some flack. But I found it a pretty entertaining movie. Some of the jokes don't hit, but you know, that's how. Oh, I've been using Common Core crystals since of course it's not working. Yeah, I get that. What time is it for you? Midnight for me. I got another 6 minutes until my Christmas comes up. But Merry Christmas to you, since oh, come on, please. Nope. All right, fine. Be that way. Okay, nice. Can't out. You've seen the "I'm Not Racist" music video? No, because I would wonder to myself, why would I be looking up a video of a guy apparently singing about how he's not racist? That, or me stumbling across that would be kind of weird. But if it's like supposed to be a parody on like a particular type of thing, I might check it out. But no, I haven't watched it. What do you think of the new Grinch that's coming out? There's a new Grinch coming out? that's how it is. See, there's my reaction. I didn't even know that was even supposed to be a thing that even is supposed to happen. Why is that a thing that's happening? Is it a live action one? Is it another animated one? Should I look it up myself, or should you tell me? I'm afraid to look it up myself. Hey, Y2 sub, it's okay. I've been doing fine. I'm trying not to give you guys false opinions on my end in order to make things authentic for when I actually do need to talk about certain things. So just know I'm alive. That's a positive, I guess. I just realized that it's Christmas thing. UCG. I mean, I can't really wake up my parents the night. Unless you're young enough, yeah, you can do that. If you're young enough, yeah, I used to do it all the time when I was growing up, going up as soon as midnight or like whenever I wake up in the middle of the night and I realize, oh, it's Christmas, and I go and see what Santa brought me, and I was like, oh, it's Christmas, and then I scream so loud that I wake up the entire house. Yeah, it's fine if you're young enough. If you're not, if you're like a grown man like me, that's a bad thing. That's a bad thing to do. Don't do that. It's animated from Despicable Me. Alright, Despicable Me's animation isn't terrible by any means, but then I say it's not fantastic. Unless you're gonna go off with, like, I think one of the movies that I thought was actually beautifully animated. But, okay, that's a interesting way of making it. It would actually kind of make sense in the realms of, oh, look at this, the values of animation. We have the How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the 2D animated one, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, a live action film, and now Grinch Stole Christmas 3D animated film. If, you know, Despicable Me is what they're talking about. So, yeah, that's interesting take. We'll have a genre of animation, a type of animation, or, you know, type of area for each Grinch iteration. So they're gonna retell the story, or they're trying to do something different. My favorite movie is Santa Claus. Oh, I remember that movie. I forget the name of the actor, but he was pretty good as Santa Claus. I remember that movie. I never really got the chance, so I watched 1 and I watched 2, but for the life of me, I never really got a chance to finish the 3rd one. I have memory of me watching it, but never truly watching it. You know what I mean? All I've seen is a picture of young Grinch, so I'm a bit sad by the thought of a prequel. Maybe it's like a flashback sequence. Maybe it's like one of those sequences like, this is the Grinch. This is your character. He's young, and this is how he started to hate Christmas. And then you get straight into his older self. It's like, it's highly possible that it could be a prequel. It's possible for the movie could even be a sequel. It's supposed to just, this is the only flashback scene. Who knows? But it's impossible for it actually to be a sequel since, you know, he kind of becomes a good guy and whatnot. So I think it's going to be a retelling. I don't think a prequel would make sense. How the Grinch started to hate Christmas? That doesn't really roll off the tongue, don't you think? Amanda. Say no go. And you can call me Amanda. It's just when I don't... okay. Amanda it is then. God dang it. My favorite Christmas movie is this Swedish film that I made for like $3. For favorite MLP song, favorite MLP song is "Smile" by Pinkie Pie in season 3. Is it season 3? Man, it's been a long time since I went back and rewatched MLP episodes. But yeah, "Smile" song by Pinkie Pie. No other song pretty much has topped that for me in a while. Hi, hey, Sally. Glad that you can make it. This is just a stream for me to say, hey, I'm still alive. Even after the long period of time that I didn't do anything. And videos are coming out probably when I actually touch down in New Orleans, but not here. I'm going to take some time to render some things out first. What's your thoughts on the blasphemers who say Santa isn't real? Well, then you clearly don't know your history, my friend, because clearly Santa existed. Because if he didn't exist, where'd the legend come from? Your move, all others. Have you watched the Home Alone movies? I was gonna say 3, but then I realized there's probably more than 3. 2 being a guilty pleasured favorite of mine. I think that's because, you know, the clown from It is playing a character. I call him the clown from It. It's just his best character. But that's about it. But the first Home Alone movie was, you know, revolutionary and whatnot, and I found it very enjoyable. Third movie, I didn't even know why that existed, or any other movie that came afterwards. But, you know. Tim Allen was actor from Santa Claus, is what I mean. Oh. Okay. Come on, please. Come on. Hi, calm. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm currently playing a game. I don't know if you guys have noticed that. There are 5 Home Alones. 5. It's like 3 too many. This is way too... That's... Why, though? Oh. Of course. Hey, I'm trying to grow a fro, and I'm just curious, how'd you get yours so puffy? I don't know, man. Like, for real, this thing just grows on its own, and I just painfully pick it out with this monstrosity. Just know if you get a fro this big and pick it out almost every single day, your scalp would not, you won't feel anything, like at all. Your head will just be numb. It doesn't matter how long you give it to heal, it will just stay numb forever. And to tell you the truth, I'm okay with that. It's when I crash my bike and fall on my head, it means nothing. I might have a minor concussion, but I won't notice it. If you could have anything for Christmas, what would you want? World peace. I want to be a sappy asshole like that. To be serious though, but for like present-wise, I would love just a new TV. This one sucks. That's it. Just a new TV. It doesn't even have to be that big. It could be the same size. It just has a better resolution, and that would be fine. That's it. But like anything like personal-wise that I always kind of wanted, just I don't know. I guess just a nice Christmas with my family. Because we haven't had many nice Christmases with my family ever since I turned like 5. And it's been a long time since we all been together. So it's kind of weird to say, but definitely something that involves us coming together and not trying to kill each other afterwards. Because that usually happens. But hey, what family doesn't do that? What do you want for Christmas? Just I'm not a picky individual. I got a Nintendo Switch. I pretty much have everything I ever need forever now. I'm cool, and I bought that myself. I don't like it when people buy me things, even if my own family members, which is why I kept trying to tell people like all of you guys in the comment section to stop sending me money during the oh, it's Christmas. Oh yeah, completely didn't. It's 12:03. I just completely glanced over me. But seriously, yeah, I hate it when people give me stuff. It bothers me because I am just a bothersome person. But yeah, I buy my own things with my own money because I have a job to do that. So when other people give me money, I feel like I owe them, even though they say they don't need me to owe them back, and it bothers me. Okay, not entirely sure what happened there. The stream just cut off for some reason. That's weird. I know. It's definitely weird since I'm the only one in this building. The internet should not be. Wait, is it this? Hold on. That doesn't make any sense. This is. Hold on. I'm sorry. Oh, God dang it. Okay. Hopefully that helps the stream a bit. If it doesn't, I'll see if I have to move, maybe. Alright. Okay, Y2 sub, so what game are you playing? I'm playing Xenoblade Chronicles 2. The greatest game in a long time since I've ever had the pleasure of playing. And that's even rivaling Breath of the Wild, which is a fantastic game, and it's weird. I sunk more hours into this game than I did in Breath of the Wild. That's scary. And I'm not even done with the game yet. I was done with Breath of the Wild like on hour, like maybe 20, maybe. I don't know. No. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Rosalys. Merry Christmas to all of you. I just hope you have a nice Christmas with your family. Don't have to do anything. Don't have a job that says, hey, let's go to work on a day that people's not going to show up. Because, you know, we need that money. We're kind of like EA. We need to be able to get more money. Even though it's pointless to be open today. We're actually losing money because we're using products that we won't be able to sell out on the initial day. We need to meet a threshold of product. that we're not gonna reach because no one's showing up. Jesus Christ, guys. No wonder people hated Ebenezer Scrooge, man. That's stupid. Stupid. What made you want to start YouTube? Nothing besides just like people saying that I was a pretty good reactor. That's it. In a nutshell version, I was watching MLP. Better yet, I watched MLP when I was young. Generation 1 through 3.5, all of which every iteration started to make me hate the series more, and I stopped liking the series and I abandoned it. William, a brony himself, said, "Hey, Generation 4, great generation. You should give it a watch." I'm like, "No, I'm not gonna watch it." He's like, "Please." And I'm like, "Fine." And I said, I only said that to get him off my back. And then after a few weeks, he said, "Hey, so how'd you like it?" And it was like, "Oh, it was great." He asked me a few questions, got them all wrong, so he hated me. So he's like, "Okay, I need video proof. You got a camera, use your thing. You don't even have to, just do it as a joke. And just say, hey, people have been doing this reaction stuff on YouTube. Do this just to prove to me that you're watching things so I can get an initial reaction from you and you prove it. You have the audio in the background so you can prove to me that you're watching it." Did it. People flocked to me, said, "Hey, you're pretty good. Stay." And I stayed. And look at me. I'm up to 14,000 subscribers. That's 14,000 more than I ever expected to get in my entire life. So, hey, I'm okay with that. So that's pretty much it. I wasn't like on YouTube to say, "Hey, I want to be like this guy. Oh, this guy inspired me." It's just like, it was just a dare, technically. And I'm happy I stayed because you guys are great. Like, really great. Like, there are multiple occasions where I can already bring up that you guys have helped me out in many situations. Not just the financial thing that happened. No, multiple occasions that involved just moral support. And I really needed those. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Times to give stuff to... Don't do that, please. Okay? Bad lag. Just kidding. Oh, stream. Yeah. If anything's going wrong, it's the stream. It is the stream. Never... do not adjust your phones and stuff like that. It's always going to be the stream, because for some reason the internet hates me. I made more Skyliner figures for Xmas. Oh, that's great. I may not be a big Skyliners fan, but I do know the appeal of it. Folks, background, by the way. People will always reference those forever. I probably will never take those down for the life of me, even though I need to at some point. But yeah, people are just gonna constantly point that out. I like cans of Coke. That's how it is. And when I'm done with them, I clean them out and keep them because, you know, I get an extra $2.50 if I bring back a whole bunch of cans. It's called recycling and helping the planet. Save planet Chan. I mean Earth Chan. She needs your help. And you know it. I've been helping her since I was young. I don't know about you guys. I was helping her before it was cool. Her own Chan. EA Sports, pay to win. Oh man, they should really change that. Like, just to F with everyone, just to do that. Just do it once in one game, and it only happens one time. It's like an RNG system. It also loops in with the loot box system. Just make an RNG system. 1% of the time, it'll actually say that, and then people will be like, "Dude, this happened," but it'll never happen again because it's such an off chance. Dude, just think about it. It'd be a nice troll. Xmas. Kong Skull Island, London Has Fallen, Ant-Man was good. Great startup story. Captain Underpants movie. Yeah. Did you ever think would be a good YouTuber and people would like it? Not at all, actually. Not a single solitary moment went into my mind that said, "Hey, I'm an entertaining guy. Maybe people will be flocking to me because I'm actually pretty funny." No, I'm not funny. I'm a guy who really just saying things, and apparently they're appealing. It wasn't until I think season 4 where my personality started to kick in a lot more. Definitely after season 4. It's like in the beginning you can clearly go on my older videos, which I think are still up on this channel now, and see that how awkward I was, how dismissive I was to even talk very much, because I was one of those guys that thought talking was like the bad thing unless there was like a really silent moment where I did have an opportunity to say things. And then when season 4 kicked in, I just started to talk a lot more, start to react to a lot of things, and actually do the thing that reactors are supposed to do. You're not supposed to just sit there and react to things in a normal fashion. You're supposed to at least ham up things a little bit. Not to the point where you start hurting yourself, unless you can't help it, apparently, in my case, obviously. but you have to have a little bit more personality in what you're doing and saying to actually have a thing that people to latch onto. And that just became such second nature. I don't even think about that anymore. I just sort of just do now. So if anything, doing this reaction stuff actually helped me develop more of my personality, and I appreciate that a lot. And again, it's because of you guys. So hey, that's great. Hey, the Surgeon X. Right. Question. Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. Amazing. And no, big jump. Oh wait, First Avengers. You know what stuff about being an adult and Christmas? Yeah, you end up wrapping your own gifts. Oh, kid again. Yeah, I get you. My technical Christmas present to myself was a Nintendo Switch, because I've been trying to get this thing for the longest time, and I was able to finally raise up enough money with no, like, oh, I need to pay off my phone bill, oh, I need to pay off my school loans and stuff like that. Nope, none of that came out, and I was able to get it, and I will still be able to, like, get food, which is good. So yeah, my Christmas is already complete. I'm pretty good with anything else that happens now. I even wish Sunset Shimmer was real. Well, no. Oh, look at that. Heavily controllers playing Doki Doki thing. Great. oh, good luck with that. Anyway. Yeah, okay. Nobody cries for nothing. John Cena, are you sure about that? Does he? Does he cry for a thing that doesn't exist, thus making it so it makes no sense to cry for it, thus making it so pretty irrelevant that he's crying for some other reason besides nothing? It's not called nobody cries for no reason. There are a lot of people. Hell, even I do it. I cry for no reason. It's kind of like the no reason boner thing for Ninja Sex Party, only with crying. Nobody cries for nothing is a statement on a matter of, if you don't know what you're crying about, does it really count as crying for nothing? Like, that sort of thing. I'm trying to be deep, but I'm not, so let's continue on. Have you heard the news about CBU having new episodes in January? That's neat. At least it's a lot faster than the initial wait that we had to go through. That reminds me, I still need to react to the latest Steven stuff that came out. After all the stuff that I was doing, that one completely slipped my mind. I was planning on doing that one today. I might do it after this stream's over, because my bus doesn't leave until 8. I'll see if I can do as many videos as possible here, and once you see a video maybe posted when I'm in the New Orleans setting, hopefully I have time to do that, because there's a high possibility I'm going to be gone for another 2 weeks and won't be able to upload any videos, because my family has grown to the point where a lot of people are in the house now, thus making it pretty impossible for me to actually do videos. So yeah, since it's a Christmas holiday, I can't even bank on my nieces going to school or something like that. It's just like, I got addicted to your comment. I'm not far into it, but I will read much more. Thanks, random 7272. I'm happy that you're enjoying it. I just hope that it's, I don't know how to really explain or say this correctly. I hope it's like different in a way. Like, I'm trying, I didn't make the story to try to break like anime and manga conventions, like, oh, this thing usually happens, but oh, you do this. It was really just me thinking of a story that constantly got like destroyed and respanded, destroyed, respanded, destroyed, respanded, because I needed to make it more original for my tastes. And I just hoped, since this is how I want the story to go, that people both understand it and enjoy it in a way that didn't make it look like it was trying to be something that already exists, you know? Basically. Also, don't get attached to many characters. I'm just warning you that, and I'm just warning you to that now. Try your best not to be attached to a frequent little pool of characters. No particular reason why, just you know, just fair warning. Just wanted to say a little something before I go to bed. Oh, okay. I'll see it when I get to it. I don't know if you already said it, Desurgent. Hope Optimus Prime will appear first in Season 5 Death Battle and be in 3D. I do want to see a Optimus Prime Death Battle, and for those who have seen the Virgil versus Sephiroth Death Battle, I hope people are accepting and also understand, or you know, just downright neutral to the outcome. Because even I had a few things to say about that outcome, and it's nothing like I still think, even after my gripes with it, I still think the outcome is okay. But I can see why some people might not like it. But who would Optimus fight? That's the question I'm gonna give you, Cody. I got a joke. Who is the fastest readers in the world? New Yorkers. They can go through a few hundred stories in just a few seconds. Hold on. I will always laugh and because this time can't. Yeah. The joke that you said, I'm trying to fully understand it. The fastest readers in the world, New Yorkers, they can go through a few hundred stories in just a few seconds. Are you talking about? Are you talking about stories as in they have big buildings? You know how stories work, or are you trying to make the because of my story that was one of my major things about how word goes around extremely fast in New York. Like one thing that said 5 seconds is already like halfway across the road in like less than a span of a second, and the entire city knows about it in like 30 minutes. That's like the big joke that I have in my thing, and it actually plays a part in the entire story, which I like. But I get it. If you want to explain a joke, I think I'm missing it. Can I do reviews for your webcomics? Is it, yay, go about it, man. I'd love to hear your feedback on it. I forgot. Okay, I need to go and find the username to the person who read a few pages of my Homestuck story, and boy howdy, even though it was cringe, but like in the good way, like I loved it. I loved it for how he was doing his best to do voices, and it was like, man, I should not be liking this, but I'm liking this way more than I need to. It's like really good type of thing, and I really wish he would do more. But if you want to do reviews and stuff, like, tell me what you think and see what I can improve on, because the story is mapped out, just like the middle parts, like the fluff and filler from that to get those could use some work for me. And if you can suggest like stuff that I can do, I'll definitely appreciate it. Like, definitely tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like, and see if I can improve on something. Tell me if something is not as clear as I thought it could be, because the difference between me as a creator, I already know everything and I know the intricate nuances of the world, so when I'm trying to explain it, I might be trying to explain it in the way that I already understand, and unlike the reader who doesn't fully understand because they're just thrown into this world and you don't know exactly how things are supposed to work. I always fear that whenever I post out a new page. Yeah, Dorkun, he was not okay with that. I miss him. He's still in Houston somewhere, and I think he still hates me. But hey, he'll get over it, maybe. What would you say to younger version of yourself? What about your older version? I would tell my younger version myself, you're about to go through some shit in your life, and you better be hoping that you're ready for it. As I said to my older self, depending on how he looks, I'll tell him that you succeeded or you failed, and I can't wait to not be you, or something like that. Pretty much, because I don't see where my older self is. Like if someone asks me, hey, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Under a bridge in a box somewhere, maybe. I don't. I say that with both joking intent and also very serious intent, because like the artist life has never been easy, and there's always going to be that huge low point that you're gonna have to get through before you get to the high point, and that's just like a thing. Unless you're like really lucky, which is very hard to be in this world, you will have a huge low point if you are an artist, and that's just how that goes. So, god dang it. So yeah, that's just me. Do you do video skits? Nope, I do not do video skits. I am not that good of an actor, and I am not that good of a... If I had a standard camera, hell yeah, I'd be doing video skits all the time. I just don't have a standard camera that I can just bring around on me. I would have to take my computer everywhere I go, which would not be the wisest thing to do. But yeah, I would love to do video skits. I had plenty of ideas of like certain things I wanted to do, but never really got a chance to because I didn't, have the necessary equipment. But sooner or later I might get that kind of stuff and do like skits and stuff. I had a joke for Ultra Instinct Universe, but that might never come to pass. Webtoon? No, I have not heard of Webtoon. What is that about and what does it consist of? Doki Doki Literature Club is really becoming popular. Tell me about it. Whenever you have a game that pretty much breaks some narratives and also kind of breaks the fourth wall and it messes with your head a little bit, it's gonna get very popular. Look at Undertale. Look at Five Nights at Freddy's. If it does one thing right, it's that thing that people don't normally get in video games, and that is that one thing that it is. Okay? And that's what makes it popular, and that's why I understand whatever people do and see in those types of games like that. I understand. Doki Doki Literature Club was fun for me and my friends because it was something different. It was creepy for Goat. It was traumatizing for Tyler. It was amusing for Seth, and it was downright enjoyable for me. I just did I tell you? I think I said this before on another stream, but I replayed the game just so I could get Monica back, and I got her back, and I'm just enjoying her. That's just what I'm doing now. Have you seen Game Theory's vids on Doki Doki? It's pretty good. I'm avoiding those until I see that they're all done. Because right now, as soon as I saw one open up about Monica, I think, not only maybe a week or so later or something like that, that I look up again, and he does something for Yuri. So I think he's going to either do something for Natsuki, and maybe, the other one. I forgot her name. I really forgot her name. I think it's because Goat was voicing her, and I hate her voice that Goat gave her. Sayori. So if those videos don't come out for a while, then yeah, I'll watch those too. But I want to watch it like in a group standpoint, see what he has to say about all the characters. I also need to watch his actual playthrough of the game to see how he felt about it. So until I do those things, I'm not watching those videos. Red Hood versus Winter Soldier versus Death Battle. If I had to think initially, I don't know much about the Winter Soldier, but I do know a lot about Red Hood, and that, you know, he's Jason Todd and whatnot. Red Hood, I don't know. It all depends on who trained more and who really just trains more. Jason's not the best Robin in the world, but he is a better Red Hood, which is saying a lot. That's actually a match I can't definitively say outright. I usually have like a good standpoint on who I think would win when people bring out a Death Battle suggestion. But yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Lars of the Stars. You don't need to tell me that. Gonna say this now. Anything involving Steven Universe, let me get to it when it comes out. Telling me when they're coming out is more than enough for me. Do not tell me their titles, because now I'm thinking about things for Lars. So don't do that. Playing a Bakugan video game. That's new. Speaking of Nobody Cries for Nothing, I like the lore you created in the series. Thank you. It changed a ton of times. A ton of times. More than I like to admit. So I'm happy that at least this is somewhat acceptable. Hey, I want to thank you because you're one of the people that got me into MLP, even though I don't personally. Thanks, man. No problem. It helped me reassuring me that reaction videos can help people get into like a fan base or a show that actually is pretty decent and good, and actually, you know, be entertaining. At least add a little extra entertainment in your life is good enough for me to know, and I'm appreciative of that. Thank you. Well, you said that many characters die, so I'm expecting lots of death. Oh, yeah, no one has plot armor. That's one of my rules whenever I'm making a new story. No one has plot armor. At any moment, I could come up with a scenario where they die and it's meaningful, and when that happens, I'm doing it. That's how that works. Even the main characters aren't safe. The main character himself isn't safe for this, because if I set up a person who's meant to take his place, like how Gohan was supposed to take over Goku's place for when he was about to fight, when fighting Cell, and now he was supposed to be the main character, like this is now Gohan's story, then they, you know, ripped that apart when they had to continue the series because, you know, that was too good. That will happen. If I introduce a character that I believe is a better main character than the main character that you currently have, there's a high possibility that the main character that currently stands will die. I've done this before, and I've done it again. I would do it again. Because I like playing with expectations in that aspect, because it's like, oh, it's an anime. You got these main characters. They're obviously serving some sort of purpose, and with that purpose, they're pretty much safe until like, you know, maybe the end of the series. No, everyone can die at some point. It's kind of like Attack on Titan, OG Attack on Titan. Anyone can die. You can have this huge armada of people with some amount of character development. Boom, boom, boom. Andy comes in. Bah, bah, da, dead, 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 eaten, dead. Oh, and I found that awesome. Like, yes, an anime that does that. Nice. Merry Christmas. Max Payne versus Punisher. If Max Payne has a canon bullet time sequence, Punisher's gonna have some trouble. That's it. Because apparently that's like canon. That's like, it's like a thing he just does. It's like his own reality warping feat. Or at least time manipulation. Have you ever seen the Margaret's Bride? It's a really good anime. I just finished it before I started watching the stream. I'm not very great with names, so I'm gonna Google search it, see if I've seen it before, and I have not. So I'll take your word for it until maybe I get to it, because it's been a while since I've been getting an anime, actually. I think when Boku Hero Academia Season 3 comes out is when I'm going to get back into watching anime, because that's just a great series. It was a 2000 September joke. Okay. Yeah, that was the first thing that came to my mind, but I'm not one to actually find those amusing. Not saying it's not bad. I'm not saying it's bad to make those jokes, because, you know, things in the past, you know, you gotta learn to laugh at it. And tragedy is one of those things I'm just like, I'm so used to at this point that I'm just pretty much denounce like a sort of like a fiction to it. But yeah, it just yeah, it's just that type of joke doesn't click with me. Dave Strider versus Garnet. Dave's a god tier time lord who can't even die in the merit of which, unless Death Battle puts Dave in a bad guy position, Garnet can't kill him. You can't kill him. Like, unless, okay, I really can't, okay, I really can't see it, because Dave, if you're gonna go off on how John can just fly off planet to another planet, that means Dave can do that too, making him almost light speed. Garnet can't react to that. Not to mention, if you're going to compare him to his bro who can slice a meteor in half. And that's just base form bro. And he held his own against Jack. Not only did he held his own against Jack, he also held his own against PM. Both at the same time until he got overwhelmed. That's impressive. I really can't see Garnet taking those two on. Don't get homestuck with me, alright? I dwell on it a little too long. I'm sorry. Oh, it's past midnight. Yeah. It's past midnight. It's now officially Christmas for all you peoples out there, and I'm trying to use that Christmas luck to get my final blade in the Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Hopefully it's working. It doesn't seem to be. I've been doing this for a while now. I've only been seeing glimpses of probably getting it, maybe getting it. Gyarados Pokemon versus Cedarmon and Digimon. I'm not fluent in Digimon and Digimin, but if it's anything like Tai versus Red with Agumon and Charizard, Digimon is going to stomp Gyarados, because Digimon can become way too overpowered. The fact that Agumon won without even having to ascend to the actual pinnacle level, his actual pinnacle level, it just shows just how much Digimon are more powerful than Pokemon. Not saying that Digimon are better than Pokemon, they're just more powerful. It's only 11 for me. It's me, Dio. Are you into any old anime? Been addicted to Fist of the North Star for a while now. Fist of the North Star is great. Continue on watching it if you're not done with it. It is awesome. Cowboy Bebop, that sort of thing. Inuyasha, if you want to count that as an old-ish type of show. Rama 1/2 is definitely one, and that's good. Any other old-timey anime that I remember watching when I was a kid and growing up? Astro Boy's pretty neat. Got me into actually like the robotic aesthetic of things in forms of anime. Please, come on. I think it's glowing, but I'm not. God dang it! It's glowing, but I'm not sure if that's her. Like, as soon as she pops up, you're gonna have like a big you better hope I get the last blade, because that will just lead to like a great reaction for you guys. Have you seen One Jump Man? One Punch Man. It's a short, incredibly well-made video. If you haven't, you should react to it. I've only seen it in like thumbnail, because I was told by Goat to watch it like reaction-wise, because it's something reaction-worthy, and from the looks of it, it just seems going to be a One Punch Man parody, but with Luigi, and that's it. That's all I know about it. And anything One Punch Man related is definitely going to be an A-OK animation in my book. So that's pretty much it. It's already 10 out of 10, and I haven't even watched it yet. So yeah, definitely a reaction to it would be great to do. But first, I need to do the other reactions that are that needs to meet my needs, apparently. My wish is to become Homestuck become movie. I want Homestuck to become its own anime, just like how Hussey made a joke about it in Act 7. Like, finally, Homestuck has become the anime it was supposed to be. Tell me about it. It should have been an anime from day one. I would love it to be an anime. I also got both Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon for Xmas. That's great. I never really found the Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon games appealing for me to want to get. Ever since I heard that new Pokemon game was going to be made for the Switch, I'm just going to wait for that. Even if it takes like 3 years, I'm just going to wait for that. And that's about it. Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, since I saw that it wasn't going to be like Black and White 2, and that it's just like a different interpretation or a different take on the story that we already know, meaning that there's going to be a lot of moments that are going to be repeats, even if there are some new things in there. Unlike Black and White 2 that tried to do this entire new story dynamic thing that I really appreciated. Yeah, but I'm not saying they're bad. Just saying it's just those are things. Those are the only Pokemon games throughout all the lines of Pokemon games that I didn't actually want to get. And that goes for also people in this apartment as well, which is odd because usually we don't really see eye to eye like that. Universe 7 versus Universe 11. Yep. I'm actually wanting to do like, you know, redirect reactions to that, because I've seen the preview to the next episode that's coming out next year, and my lord, the animation looks like a person from the movies just came in and said, hold my beer, I got this, guys. You know how people complain about animation? This one episode is just gonna make them eat their dirts. They eat the dirt, like for real. And I'm excited for it. I'm excited for it. The only thing that's kind of odd is that Vegeta's kicking Jiren and it's actually doing visible damage, which is odd in the sense that, okay, last time I checked, you need at least Ultra Instinct to even touch this guy, but alright. But then again, Hit did it, so I guess it just means Jiren's either losing some steam, or maybe Vegeta's got more Zenkai boosts than Goku, which is impossible since Goku has clearly deserved more Zenkai boosts throughout this entirety of the Tournament of Power. I think Goku got more Zenkai boosts in 48 minutes than he's got in the entirety of the entire show. Thanks to this tournament. Webtoon is a place where artists post their comics and people go to read their comics. I love reading people's comics on Webtoon. I'll check it out. If it's, because the thing is with me, I think DeviantArt was like the best place to put my comic, because other places that do the whole you can read other people's comic thing is usually digital, and I never really have enough time to digitize my work. It's always on the sketchbook that I did it on, and it's faster for me just to scan those in and post it on DVR for people to see, than trying to find time that I already don't have to digitize it, even though I want to. It's been a while, but I digitized the first 10 chapters, and no, first 10 pages of my story, and nothing else afterwards, because I could not find a time to continue doing it. If Webtoon accepts just standard webcomic, standard, like, you know, pages from a sketchbook, then yeah, hit me up. I'll definitely go to that as another means for people to read my stuff. But if that isn't the case, then I'm sorry, I won't be able to. The other one, don't leave my girl Sayori hanging like that. John, hey, it's your girl Sayori, but, you know, I'm sorry I left her hanging. Sorry I left her hanging. That's just how it goes for me. Sorry about that. And in fact, I'm not sorry. She doesn't exist. who am I kidding? Wait, who is Sayori? Who is Yuri? Who is even this Natsuki character? I'm currently playing Doki Doki Literature Club, and there's only one girl available for me. So, I don't know about you guys, but I think you guys are going crazy. And I'm serious. I have the game on here right now with Monica, like, just there. Like, I have just Monica, because Monica is the only good character in its entire game. I don't know, I'm not dissing you guys as waifus, but my waifu can beat your waifu. Hell, my waifu probably already killed your waifu. Let's see. My money's on Zeno. No, the game theories were the same theory, just a two-parter. He's already gone through all the characters. You're safe to watch. But I still, me having to watch his initial playthrough on GT Live on his archive channel still needs to be done. I'm not gonna watch his videos unless I know his actual like view of the game first. So that's still a thing I need to do. But that's good for you to tell me that. That's good for you to tell me that the two-part, it's just a two-parter, so he goes over all the characters and stuff already. So that just gives me an incentive just to watch it as soon as I'm done watching the a video where he plays it. That's why I do. I like how his Life is Strange theories. I didn't watch a single one until I finished watching his playthrough of it. And once he got done with his playthrough of it, I watched the theories. Because MatPat is an individual that I need to know his opinion on before I get into it, before I see what he gets into in his theories. Because he did a theory about Phoenix Wright being a bad guy, and man, there was a lot of things that were wrong with that one. Like, as a Phoenix Wright fan, of course I'm gonna complain, but Jesus Christ, man, you could have done a little bit better. Could have done a little bit better. And MatPat, I love you, man. I think you get a lot more shit than you need to when it comes to people dogging on your theories, but dude, come on. Phoenix Wright, bad guy, come on. I'll try to read your comments soon. Hey, the more the merrier. Hopefully it's good. If Kurata was in Death Battle, who would you want her to fight? I was thinking about this. I even did this thing in my head, because since I know my story inside and out, I already know like my final characters for like the final arc and stuff like that. So I thought to myself, how would my characters do in the universe of the Tournament of Power arc in Dragon Ball? And some of you might not believe me when I say this, but I think my characters would win. And before you guys say, oh, what, you think your characters are Dragon Ball Z tier? On the contrary, I only have at least quintessential 3 faster than light characters. That's it. That's it. Only 3 faster than light characters. 4 if you want to count one particular person, but that guy cheats. Alright? That's it. So, those 4 only faster than light characters are the only big advantages on most of the universes of the Dragon Ball Z. But it's the sense that they have abilities that the Dragon Ball Z characters themselves are not used to combating against, is how I believe in all the scenarios I put all these characters in all these characters and their abilities, it actually made me really truly see my characters would actually win with huge losses. Not all 10 are gonna stay. I think only 2 or 3 are gonna be left. That's it. But when it comes to Kurata and Death Battle, if Kurata had to fight someone in Death Battle, it would probably have to be like, man, who I know I had a quintessential person. I don't know why I forgot about him. Like, specifically. Dang it. Inuyasha. Finding Inuyasha. There we go. If Kurata wasn't put in Death Battle, Kurata had to fight Inuyasha. And the reason why is because it's such a close battle for me that I don't know the outcome. Even though I know all the insides and outs of Kurata. And I even know all the insides and outs of Inuyasha because, you know, I've read the manga, like, front and backwards, and also watched the anime and the movies and stuff like that. And I know his abilities, I know his skills, and Kurata can counter, if not negate, most of those skills. However, I don't think Kurata has the necessary means to fully take him down, at least in the current level and state that she was. Even with her Kokaku state, she would have a hard time killing him. So it's hard, because they're both kind of immortal, due to their healing factors being astronomically big. And the fact that Kurata's almost undead. But hey. Best girl. Well, for me. I don't know who the Sayori is. But whatever. Would Dwayne Johnson make a good movie version for Kratos for a future God of War movie based from the game? Dwayne Johnson. I need to look at him because I don't know his face. I know his name, don't know his face. Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Yes, actually. Just say The Rock. I don't know him as Dwayne as much. That's a shame, but it's true. Just call him The Rock. Alright? Or at least say Dwayne The Rock Johnson. That was really like just a brain fart. Like, who's Dwayne Johnson? But yeah, I would love him to be Kratos. I could see him being Kratos. However, only if it's a parody of Kratos. I don't think he can actually capture the essence that is the rage that Kratos ensues. Because he's a happy guy. I don't see him being that good of an angry dude. Wait, there's a new Steven Bomb? There's a new Steven Bomb coming in January, apparently. But the Steven Bomb that already came out, like, a while ago, still needs to be, needs my attention. Have you learned nothing? Video games and movies are not mixed. Okay, wait, I think you're talking to someone else. Okay, personally, I like lore, but I'm not one of those people who, that ask for it. Some people want lore to be explained on its, on it the moment it's introduced. Like in MLP, the lore is the point of the story. The point of the story. Yeah, unless, see, I don't put a lore aspect into a certain scene unless it's supposed to be, like, partial to the story. Like, one of my visions for when I was making my story, and putting lore into it was, I want it to be, the main character doesn't know it, and since he doesn't know it, you probably don't know it either. So when he learns it, you learn it, and that's how you're both informed at the same time. Like, you're putting yourself into the character's shoes and as well. That's why it's also, you also say it's kind of like an excuse to say, oh, if people don't know something, have the main character not know it, thus having it be okay to say, which I try to also kind of avoid. I don't want it to be a mundane thing where I throw lore in your face and it doesn't matter, only when it's in the moment and it needs to be explained now, I guess. Especially if the Icon's usually the one that's explaining it, and his personality is fun to put into a narrative stance. I mean, dude, you listen to, like, this first narrative stance with Lucifer, I think that's one of my favorite moments in all of his history. So would you say that Nobody Cries for Nothing is a shonen or a shoujo manga or a seinen manga? I think it's more of a shonen because I take more from shonen aspects. I think I didn't start doing this story until I was 6. And I think when I was 6, Naruto and Dragon Ball Z were my main things that I was watching. I didn't start One Piece until like age 7. So there's that. So I would guess, like, shonen is definitely, like, in there. However, I don't think it follows many shonen tropes as well. Most of my female characters don't have archetypes put into them. They're mostly just, like, characters. Where in most other shonens, they actually have, like, a quintessential thing that makes them different. But my female characters, along with my other characters in general, just seem very structurally layered in, like, you could say this one thing to multiple different characters. Some of them might say the same, and others may say different, but they all will say the same thing on a base level. You know what I mean? I don't know how to really explain this. I'm a writer, not much of an explainer of how my writing works. It's funny, actually. But I don't know what a seinen, S-E-N-I-E-N manga is. Seinen manga? If you tell me the description of that one, I might be able to get it, but I know what shoujo manga is. Sort of what the characters are going through is what is important. That's exactly, I agree wholeheartedly, Jeremy. If you don't have good characters, then there's a lot of things that can go wrong in a story. And I try to make my characters as both structurally layered, vulnerable as possible, and trying to avoid Mary Sue's and Gary Sue's and the like as much as possible. Every character will have some type of flaw with them, and if there is a character with no flaw, it's mostly because that's what the story is trying to let you know about this character. Let's take Icon, for instance. He can literally do and say anything, and it will work out alright, which is a component to a Gary Sue. However, a Gary Sue is also a person who actually has no faults to them, and if you know me, and if you know Icon for even a fraction of a second, you already know that he does a lot of things wrong in the sense of what he does and how he does it. So, yeah, it's a climb. It's a climb. I truly believe darkness is actually good. Darkness is actually good. Both light and darkness are both equal balance in Equestria. Equestria, do you? Yeah, darkness and light. It's like the baseline of good versus evil, fire versus water. You know, it's always the balancing, conflicting things, and darkness was one of the first things, if not. Stream stopped again. Okay, darkness is good. Darkness is good for balance. I think I just need to move. I think I'm just gonna move. Alright. Hopefully this is better. I hope you don't mind the Dutch tilt that's now going to be a part, because now I need to make sure that this stream stays alive. Sorry about that. Hopefully when I get to your comments of all your freakouts of the stream cutting out and whatnot, this is better. So, continuing on with what you said, Cody. Darkness and light, yeah, it's a contrast. It's a great contrast, and I love it. That's why that's the one thing I wanted to put a spin on, when I did my story, and that's basically like the baseline of it. It's always been this darkness versus light, good versus evil, this versus that, and yet not many people have really made a story revolving around the middleman, the neutral party. The people who are not for good and the people who are not for evil. The people who are literally neutral, like pure neutral. You don't got chaotic good, you don't got lawful evil, you don't have all that. It's just true neutral. And as soon as I realized that, I'm like, okay, I can make a story about a true neutral based narrative. Like, I don't know, for people who have read the story so far, tell me, if you read the story, and I think there's only like 2 of you, but hey, you know, might as well ask. For the character of Judo, where do you think he's affiliated? Good, evil, lawful good, chaotic good, lawful evil, that sort of stuff. Where do you believe he stands? If you read the story, and I think again there's only like 2 of you, but if you read the story and at least known Judo for as long as you have, tell me, where do you think his alignment is? Just tell me. You can even guess if you have not read the story, just from what I've been saying. What do you think his alignment is? As a main character of my story, what do you think his alignment is? Continuing on. Spyro the Dragon versus Charizard. Spyro. Charizard's strong, but Spyro, he beat giant dragons, huge dragons, small dragons, huge not dragons, goblins, demons, probably demons, other great assortments of things. Charizard, he's just a wild animal in the woods. I stand in twilight, light and darkness. Yeah, even that. People saying, okay, I stand in between both. I have both light and darkness. But again, not many people. That's not neutral though. That's more like chaotic good. You have a little bit of evil in your goodness, and you have a little goodness in your evil. But true neutral, like. Ultra Instinct Roxy Lalonde. All hail the drunk void goddess. Oh yeah. Lucario did beat Renamon. Gyarados versus Seadramon without partners too. No. I meant that. Oh, I only meant when I said the Charizard versus Agumon thing. I only meant that in the context that they have their trainers. Not if they're wild and they don't have anyone to boost their stats. But will you admit that if Renamon had her trainer with her, not her trainer, her partner with her, and she was able to Digivolve her, would Lucario still win? The answer that I have is no, Lucario would lose. But if it's like they're base-to-base forms, hell yeah, Pokemon have a way better chance of beating the Digimon. But if Digimon have their partners with the trainers having with the Pokemon having their trainers, the partners will win all the time because they're overpowered, like, things. But if Gyarados versus Seadramon without partners, then yeah, that's a better fight. Yeah, that's definitely a better fight, definitely. But when I said my piece, I only meant that in the sense that if they had partners. When you said it the first time, I didn't know what you meant on that stance. I need to get back to Digimon. JetX, you use the spam all on the Power Rangers. Yeah, JetX. Oh, that was the good old days. Both Digimon and Power Rangers are totally friggin' awesome. Remember, kids, Puku was the original Stalker Girl. Yes, and it was a great, like, guilty pleasure series when I was growing up. I'm like, why am I watching this? I'm not really enjoying it, but something keeps getting me back into it. It's weird. I mean, Super Hyper Force Money for what? It's Super Robot Monkey Team Hyper Force Go. Something that's the way to go. Dude, come on. Super Robot Monkey Team Hyperforce Go was a pretty legit series, especially with the Black Monkey actually being played by, I forget his name, but it's a very famous guy. I'm like, really, dude? He was one of the best characters. It's funny. I miss Yin Yang Yo. That was a good show. That was a great show. I like how it was kind of like the show that was kind of progressive in the sense that it didn't stay stagnant and it actually progressed with characters along. Like it was like a pre-version of Starburst Forces of Evil, but in like a slower sense. I like it. Games and movies don't mix. I mean, the past Lara Croft movies were successful. Yeah, they were successful. So it does not equal good. Successful. That is so true. Just to prove your point, Yater, the Emoji Movie made a lot of money, thus meaning it was kind of successful in its time. Does not make the Emoji Movie a good movie. So yeah, that he has a point on that, but I'm not gonna get into this scenario of like video games, movies, and video games and movies. I will say that for like entertainment purposes, movies, you could die. I've heard this before. You could die in the middle of a movie and it will still go on and it'll end. However, a game, if you're playing a game and you die, like in real life, your character's not progressing. It's not moving. The period. So, like, when it comes to entertainment, it all really depends on your a span of attention and also just what you put into it. Like, movies are preset. You make a game what you make a game what you want it to be, good or bad. There are certain bad games that people make good because they actually have fun with it in its own way, like Sonic 06. Sonic 06. Critically bad game. People still have fun with it because the glitches are fun. Food Fight. Critically bad game. Wow, movie. Critically bad movie. I watched it and I wanted to shoot myself the moment I saw the first few moments animation. So, but again, also, certain movies can also be good in the sense that they're so bad that they're good, like The Room. And apparently that's why the Disaster Artist exists, because The Room was so successful in the fact that it was so bad it was good. And I understand. It was so bad it was good. So it's always subjective. Perspective is the name of the game, I guess. You should react to episodes of Power Rangers. No. Not only have I watched and experienced a ton of Power Rangers back in my time, with Mystic Force still being one of my favorites, second only to maybe SPD Emergency. I cannot do some reactions to Power Rangers. That is a fat no on like an actual thing. Can't. All right. Jerry is showing expressions. This is madness. Hey, read the manga. He's so much more likable. In a span of a few panels, Jiren in the manga is 100 times better than the Jiren in the anime. He's been around for way longer. I hate Jiren in the anime. I want him dead. I don't like him. He's a horrible character. Jiren in the manga is a likable, respectable, and a great dude. And I'm happy I'm just happy that the manga is doing so much better than the anime, but goddamn, I wish it would come out sooner. Like the upload times, you know. And questioning the logic of Dragon Ball anymore is just way too inconsistent. Yeah, it is. It is. But just like how many people dog on The Last Jedi, if you just watch it as a sci-fi movie and not as a Star Wars movie, and like how if you watch Dragon Ball as a action anime and not as a full-on, you need to compare like Dragon Ball Z and their previous scalings to characters and stuff like that, and just watch it as an action anime, they're both really good. And that's about it. I'm ready for the Tournament of Power to end. Ready for the plot twist where it's a draw and both universes can't be deleted. I told myself two things when watching the Tournament of Power. I said, one, if they bring back all the universes, I call it, and it's stupid, making all this completely meaningless, and I hated this entire arc. And two, if they do keep all the universes that they obliterated gone, I'll have a newfound respect for this series and actually start doing reactions to it full on with 100% respect for it. Because I kill characters very interestingly. I don't kill a character unless I know that their character arc or something about them is done. And when that thing's done, they're dead. That's how that works. That's how that works for me. And when I kill them in the sense that you liked them, you enjoyed them, you saw their struggle, their pain, and their resolve. And now I take them away from you, and that's the emotional factor to it, especially from the main characters themselves when they witness the death. All the universes, aside from maybe 1 to 3, died and were obliterated, and no one cares. Except for 3. And that bothers me. It bothers me as a person who likes to kill off characters for the sake of the emotional value. And you barely do that when you're literally wiping out trillions upon trillions of people. It's funny. So where is your Star and Steven? Don't know. If you're talking about previous uploads, if they're not up, I'm not entirely sure what YouTube's doing. If you're talking about new coming uploads, haven't done them yet. Haven't found the time. In fact, I was planning on doing it after I do this stream, so hopefully I can do it today. My waifu can kill your waifu, so this is the natural evolution of my dad can beat up your dad argument. Yeah, this is the new century, man. Get on our level, scrub, or something. Is that what you guys say these days? Sunset Shimmer is so beautiful on Equestria Girls. I wish she was real. She is. It's called A Person Who Looks Kind of Like Her. That's it. Luna's magic is almost like darkness, and her own darkness is good. Yeah. Judo versus Roxas? Which Judo? Pick a number between 1 and 4. Pick a number between 1 and 4, random. I know this is probably a long ways away, and I probably won't get to that number for a while, but do that for me, and then I'll hopefully remember what you mean by it. Because Judo now, if we're going like Chapter 1 Judo, he can't beat Roxas. Period. Can't. Not fast enough, not reacting enough. No, he just can't. But if you're going off the other later chapters where he comes stronger, then yeah, you had to pick one. Because they have 4 major chapters. Those 4 major chapters. We have the beginning chapter, the chapter that pretty much sets up a lot of stuff, the 3rd chapter that ends a lot of things, and the 4th chapter that solidifies it all. I'm going to sleep, so good night, and hope you get your blade and Nia and her blade. Yeah, Nia's awesome. Love Nia. And she first was annoying, but then she turned out to be a really great character in more ways than one. And if you played the game, you already know what I mean. So, yeah. That Phoenix Wright theory was one of the worst ones, just being honest. Nothing was news to Phoenix Wright fans, and the idea of Phoenix Wright doing a few illegal things is something even the games acknowledges. Thank you. Yeah, I know. It was really bad. Out of all, if anyone ever had to tell me what's your least favorite game theory, it had to be that one, because it's so not good. I just can't find any redeeming factors from it, especially since he contradicts himself in his own logic of how the legal system in America and in Japan works. Japan's legal system is way stricter than ours. Hugely. especially since Edgeworth, maybe not Blackwell, a vast majority of prosecutors have done things that Phoenix has only allegedly have done. That's so like, come on, Matt, come on, you could do better than that. And I'm the one who accepted your Ness with Sans theory. And even I said that one, and I even said the Phoenix Wright one was bad. Come on. Agile versus Vector the Crocodile, Applejack. The demons in your comic seem to have more power than the humans on Earth. Yes, because when I think of demons, I think of extremely more powerful people. However, demons themselves. Now, the power level system in my story is actually pretty flimsy. In the beginning portions, like at first if you try to compare the power levels to those power levels of that of Dragon Ball Z, you're not gonna be doing it right. You're not gonna be doing it right at all. Humans, if you want to know a human's base power level, a human's base power level is up in the hundreds. All right, human's base power level, like an average human. So if you see Judas, who with this power level of a flimsy couple of digits, he's not gonna be able to take on a whole bunch of humans on his own. He might be able to take on a few, but not a bunch. However, there's also the fact of home field advantage and differences in places. There's going to be moments where you're going to see power levels spike and differ in other people's senses. If you read the first sketchbook, the first real, like, sketchbook of the story, you'll see Kuthala stab through Sagi and throw her across the room into a door. Sagi is the 8th major demon, is the leader of the 8th circle of hell. Right next to Lucifer in power. And yet the first circle guy is able to damage her and throw her away. Is because he has the home field advantage. He's not in her circle, she is in his. His circle gives him a massive, huge buff, and also gives Sagi a huge debuff. So it's not just him gaining power, it's also her decreasing in power. Because she's not drawing from the strength that she gets when she's in her circle. And she's going up against a guy who gains a ton of boosts from Limbo. Limbo is the act of cycles. And since a life cycle exists, he's very strong. But only if he's in an area that the cycles matter. Like other circles, those cycles don't matter. I recently went into the Ace Attorney wiki and discovered that Phoenix Wright references have appeared in a good amount of anime and manga. Are there any that you know of? Besides, like, you know, No Game, No Life, where he literally is, like, doing that. Sakura Spirit in a visual novel game is doing this entire bit where he's apparently doing, like, Phoenix Wright related stuff. A lot of look, the main reference would probably just come from a person either slamming a desk and pointing at something saying hold it or objection, or something along the lines of a person liking coffee a little too much. That's about it. Right, Frere. Icon is an interesting character. Can't trust this guy. Yeah, happy that you're getting that, because not supposed to. However, I'm not saying he's not completely untrustable. He can be trustworthy if you want someone to stab you in the back. He's the guy to call. Pokemon is my main anime show since the 90s. Yeah, I believe it was a lot of people's. It wasn't until like Black and White that I stopped watching it, and it wasn't until X and Y that I start to rewatch it. And it's not until Sun and Moon that I kind of feel indifferent. I'm not saying that Sun and Moon is bad. Again, it's kind of like the Sun and Moon games in general. Just something that's lacking in the appeal of it for me, and I just can't get into. Spelling is wrong. Is a dark manga that contains a lot of blood, violence, and dark fantasies. Tokyo Ghoul and Berserker. Okay. I don't think it's that. My story can get into, like, gorier tendencies. It's kind of like Naruto in certain regards. Naruto had certain moments where it got really gory. The perfect moment for this is when Obito goes berserk and starts killing all of those hidden miss ninja guys, and it's just, like, really brutal, like, really out of nowhere. Wow, that's really like gory and like a lot of blood everywhere, people being embedded into trees and just having trees just spout from the inside of your body. That is some dark stuff. But it's not like, you know, Berserk or, you know, Tokyo Ghoul. But my story does kind of have that. It has like a lot of moments where you don't have like stuff like that, but then you will get to moments like that. You have Subaru tearing out his eyes and stuff like that, and stuff like little small things and sometimes really big things, but they're not very frequent, you know. There's a difference between a Mary and Gary Sue and a morally upright character. A lot of writers seem to forget that these days. Tell me about it. Tell me about it. Like I remember in one of the streams, people called Icon a Gary Sue or a Mary Sue, and I was like, I'm pretty sure. Look, I'm not 100% sure about that definition. I don't know whether it means that they're good at everything with no faults or good at everything, and they just like, even I have to disagree with that because that Icon is a very flawed character. He just acts perfect. he's actually the most flawed character in the entire story. The fact that he's tricking you into believing that he's something perfect is actually a plus on my end. Our dark fantasies, I mean story with dark elements. Yeah. Honestly, I don't like the light versus dark story in fiction the way most writers use it. They use it as the dark basically being Nazis, where the dark side is not any way interesting to have around. And that's where my story comes in. The demons in my story, which are represented by the dark side, are all pretty down-to-earth people, if you really think about it. The whole structure of it, the easiest way to structure it, the further down you go in hell, the more insane things get. Meaning that the Circle of Limbo are basically humans with demon-like traits. You can talk to a person, you can walk up to a demon in Limbo, and you will have a 99% chance that it won't kill you outright. That it will actually hear you out, listen, and understand you. It won't be hostile to you unless you show hostility to it. Then you go down to the second circle, 85%, because they're mostly comprised of people who want to use you or keep you as their like food source, or just use you once and just think of you as just that one person that helped them out in that one time of need where they were hungry, because they're lustful people, they're lustful demons. 75% because they like to eat you more, and going down the line all up to 8, they just kill you outright because they're downright insane. They're the people you don't want to hang around. So that's why I like my structure system of hell. The further down you go, the more insane people get. So standing at the top is where you'll see the most sane group of people. And since the circle itself is the largest considering of the surface area, you would find more the fact that people who die on Earth and go to hell are actually just people who are just in hell. They're not changed, not warped in their mind view. The people who really go down into lower circles are the real effed up people in the head. And I want to really put that, like the people who just die and they had no really good affiliation to both evil or good, kill a lot of people or stuff like that, they go to Limbo. And Limbo is actually a pretty decent place to be. It's not like a suffering place, it's more of just another Earth. And since Earth right now sucks because it has a lot of trials and tribulations that just sucks, it's basically still a hell on Earth, except you're just in hell, you know? I like that dynamic. I don't know if other people can appreciate it, but hey, it's what I thought when making it. Oh, that movement's so exciting. Natural characters are often the ones I find most interesting. Thank you. I try to make it at least a vast majority of them natural. If I make them all natural, then it kind of just breaks the flow on like certain people, and they all start to feel the same. So I try to put at least some like unnatural characteristic in them, but keeping them to like a natural degree. You know what I mean? I've seen light used for evil, like Chrysalis and Discord, for instance. Light used for evil. Even the light side of the Force in Star Wars had some dark side tendencies to it, man. I like Judo affiliation would have to be I go my own way. He is a true neutral character. Right now, his current motivation is to find somebody that only suits his needs. That's it. He wants to find Yoko. He wants to find his dad figure. That's it. He doesn't want to find him for a sake of good. He doesn't even consider himself a hero. He doesn't like being called a hero because he doesn't believe heroes even exist. And he wouldn't work for evil because a person who was evil came for him. And he denounced that person that he used to be when he was in hell. And look at that. I want to keep Judo as true neutral as possible, but still giving him a motivation. Because if you have a main character with no actual motivation, it tends to have people to be disconnected from him. So him having to trying to find his father figure is about as good as he's gonna get for at least the current story arc for what's going on in chapter 2 right now for Judo. And I've seen darkness used for good, like Luna or Riku and Batman for injustice. Now, there's a difference for what Riku does when it comes to using darkness used for good. He doesn't use darkness for good. He uses darkness for a tendency of dawn. He uses both light and dark to a degree. His association is good, so he uses the darkness power for evil. So in a baseline sense, yes, darkness is used for evil. If you're using it as darkness as a literal sense, but as like darkness as a tendency to use it as another means. No, I don't know where I was going with this. You know, I'm just gonna agree with that. You know, I had something in my head about it, but yeah, you know, you're right. Yeah, Riku is part of that. Luna, yeah, darkness of the moon, darkness of going into people's dreams to help them out in nightmares and stuff. Batman, because he's friggin' Batman. So yeah, I get it. I also don't like the natural kind either, because then it has no effect and basically will be completing face setter. To quote, apathy is death. Apathy is the worst human emotion. I'm not a far in the story, but Judo is not really certain about some things. He tried to save a demon that Karada tried to kill, and then a demon tried to kill. He tried to save a demon that Karada tried to kill, and that demon tried to kill him. I'm gonna guess you say, yeah, Judo's definitely. That's just like currently what the story arc is going off right now. Judo's currently trying to find his true like sense here. He doesn't know if he wants to protect people. He doesn't know if he wants to impress people. He doesn't know what's right and what's wrong, because after figuring out he's a demon, he thinks that all other demons can be like reasoned with, just like him. So he tries to help out. He tries to help out a demon that Karada's seems to be brutally killing, who seems to be putting up like a real like I'm in danger. Please don't kill me. I did nothing wrong. So of course he wants to help. And as soon as he sees that demon tried to kill him and also potentially kill Karada, it's like, yeah, now he sees that demons, especially from the circle that particular demon was in, are not easily reasoned with. A good contrast to do is for people who have made this part of the story yet, is that Judo has met a fair amount of different demons already, and he's met these demons and he's talked to these demons, and you know that Baron are from the circle, from the first circle, and any other demon that's from the any other circle. Now, from the demons that Judo has interacted with, which one of these, how many of these demons have talked to him and in a rational sense without resorting to violence instantaneously? And once you notice they're all from the first circle, that's me showing you the further down you go, the more likelihood that they're not going to be someone you want to try to protect or talk with. While the first circle demons seem to be the true guys to really talk about and talk to. Even goes with the second circle demons and how they're more manipulative sense and not wanting to kill the people that they go with unless truly needing to. It's like, I'm really hoping I'm structuring this correctly. Like, that's how much I'm trying to explain it. Mountain Dew do you like most? Mountain Dew Code Red. I don't drink Mountain Dew. I only drink Coke. Like, it's nothing against any other soft drink or anything like that. I just only drink Coke. It's just it. It's just it. I'm curious to see how he wields his power in a true goal set. Yep. His power is what I like to call Boku no Hero Academy's one for all. All for one. I'm sorry. All for one, but I did it first. I hate to use that sense, but like Judo's power is overpowered. However, it's the fact that he can't use it correctly is what makes it so he needs to learn, which makes him already level 1 on the tier. And just like Deku, he has a very overpowered quirk, but since he can't use it correctly, he's basically level 1. And I like how right now both characters in this sense at this point have already gotten a sense of what their power is and how they can utilize it in a better sense to make sure that they use it correctly to get the maximum amount of output in what they're doing. You ever heard of seeing an anime show called Gundam? Yeah, the show. Yeah, yeah. Like I don't know if this was only on my previous channel. I think it probably was, but I saw Epion versus the White Ranger, and as soon as I saw that was going to be the next death battle, I'm like, Epion is going to destroy the White Ranger. Epion could do this and this and this, and the White Ranger can barely do this without losing. And then people were like, oh, well, Megazord can do this. And then that battle came out. Epion is shown to cut a giant thing in half with one slice. And then you're like, Gundam, just don't mess with Gundam. All right? Epion is one of my favorite Gundam. You don't mess with Epion. All right? If Renamon could digivolve, Lucario wouldn't win. But at least Lucario would be smart enough to leave. His life, yeah. Wait, that or he would give up his life to protect eternity. If it was like Sir Aaron, and his Lucario versus, Renamon and their partner, yeah, definitely. Lucario would have died for Sir Aaron. Like that was his thing. Like I know that Lucario, but it was like a wild Lucario versus the partner up Renamon. Yeah, Lucario would run away. He would just straight up bounce. Team should also be part of Death Battle. I would find it hilarious if they do a Super Robot Monkey team versus like Power Rangers. I would find it funny. I can see Judo not fighting for the side of good or evil. Yeah, I can see him just a neutral party. Yeah. Yin yang yo, yin yang yo. Have you watched? Whoa. Ah, come on, Dashi, don't do that. Ah, okay. Thank you for the $2. I'm very appreciative. Don't do it again to anyone else. I swear to God. But thank you. Merry Christmas, everyone. Hey, watch Kid vs. Cat? Yes. Yes, I do. I don't remember it, though. I do remember the name, and I do remember the characters, but I don't remember the actual show. That's how long it's been. It's Teenager Imp. Yes, do you think so, too? No? At least not right now. People are still calling him a kid dragon or a baby dragon. He still seems pretty much of a baby dragon to me. If he was a teen, I think he'll be slightly bigger. But who knows? Because we had an episode of him doing like growth spurts and stuff like that, and I think like the stage before he starts going like a spike want, before making actual cognitive speaking, is his actual teenage years. Oh, for Nathan Drake movie too. Nathan Drake movie seems very plausible. I don't see why they haven't done it yet. I can't wait to see those punch Iron Man in the face with his Infinity Wars. Yeah, that's gonna be fun. Are you a Power Rangers fan? Huge one. I know the movie could be good and successful as the God of War games were. Depends. It really depends on what type of effects you're gonna be using and like the actor itself. He can't react to it. Too informed on it. Way too informed. Yep. T.J. Miller and Chris Rock should be part of the sequel of Sausage Party, and Chris Rock could be played as villains for it. There's gonna be a sequel to Sausage Party. I don't know whether or not you're doing that as like a hopeful thing or something, because it kind of left off on a joking cliffhanger, as in they're not actually going to do it. It was just a joke. But if there is gonna be, like, what do you do after that? Go out into the real world and start killing people all left and right throughout every other store? Like, I don't think that's gonna be as entertaining as you think it might be. What are your favorite superpowers? Mine are fire, ice, and darkness. I like Zawaldo Tokyo Kume. That is my favorite power ever in the history of anime because, you know, Zawaldo is great. Basically stand abilities in general, persona abilities, and anything that involves me summoning another version of myself to beat people up. To tell you the truth, personas have always been so much fun, and stands have always been so much interesting. So interesting. Well done. Can't wait for Kurata's death. Why are you just going to straight go to Kurata? Kurata probably won't die. Why do you think like that? Kurata's not gonna die. You're jumping the gun there, buddy. Maybe. Those are elements, not superpowers. Well, you can have the powers of darkness. It would be better for you to explain about like what type of powers you mean. Like saying, okay, I have the power of fire, kind of like Bakugo, who has the power of explosions. However, it's not like, like Konosuba, I forgot her name, but, Explosion Witch Girl, Explosion Lolly. She does a spell, an extremely long spell, and does explosion. But unlike Bakugo, he sweats nitroglycerin, and then he can then ignite it. And that's like an interesting take on like explosion-based abilities. Fire. It's like I can breathe fire from my mouth. I can breathe fire from my nose. My entire body has fire-like tendencies. My mustache, my beard, my hair is made of fire. And my eyebrows. If you know who I'm talking about, I kind of like his design, hate his character. That sort of thing. I shall miss the Super Saiyan, Kale Broly. I'm not in the same boat, but sure, man. I get that there are some great tendencies about those characters, but when Ultra Instinct Goku fired his Kamehameha after sliding on her beam and just wailing her, I never felt so much joy. I never felt so much joy in my entire life. Like, it's hilarious how I never felt that much joy in a scene in an anime before. Like, my lord, they're geniuses. They're geniuses. You do a crossover movie, right? I can see one. Have to leave now. Merry Christmas, Alexander. Power Rangers, My Little Pony. We all have our preferences. Because Power Rangers, you really take into account, they have way better iterations. Like, you can take like a handful of Power Ranger generations and also what it's done to the youth and compare it to what My Little Pony has done and clearly see that My Little Pony does not have even a fraction of the impact that Power Rangers had. I remember like memories I shouldn't be having back in preschool of my class watching old Power Rangers. I think it was Power Rangers in Space. And just people saying, oh, this episode I'm the Green Ranger. No, this episode I'm the Yellow Ranger. This episode I'm the Red Ranger. Like, I still remember those days because of how like good that the Power Rangers were back in the day. Even Generation 1 of My Little Pony was great for me, but it wasn't anything impactful like Power Rangers. So yeah, Power Rangers in formalities of compared to MLP, definitely vastly inferior. Does not mean that My Little Pony isn't great though. And I feel that their character's arc is done. But by that logic, you should have seen the end of Volume 3 coming. Seeing the ending of Volume 3 coming? Again, I'm going to tell you this. When I watch and when I listen or when I read things, I don't go on my tendencies of how I write. Yater. A lot of people have been doing this thing just like, oh, you like killing off characters? Then what about Pyrrha? You like her dying or something? No. When I watch another media that's not mine, or do something that's not mine, I turn off my brain about that because I don't want to compare this. I don't want to compare Ruby to my story because my story is not Ruby. Ruby's story is not my story. So I take my story out, take my mindset of what I do in my story, and just go straight into Ruby. So when I saw Pyrrha die, I was saddened. I was heartbroken, and I was legitimately upset because it's not that I was trying to see it coming. I didn't want to see it coming because that would ruin my reaction of her dying and just be like, what's better? Me turning my brain off about my story and watching Ruby and seeing Pyrrha die and being how emotional I was, or trying to put my story in the realms of this, seeing that Pyrrha story arc after kissing John. And what happened, and I'm like, oh yeah, she was gonna die anyway. I saw that coming. That's it. Is that something you want to see from me? Because I can do that from now on. I know the answer is gonna be no. Judo 4, Judo destroys Roxas. Judo destroys Roxas with like 2 hand stamp you haven't spec. I'm just guessing. Judo 4, yeah. Judo chapter 4, Judo annihilates like harshly, like. I don't know if that's supposed to be like high expectations on how you're expecting to see Judo in Chapter 4, but damn, Roxas doesn't stand a chance. Oh, I'm sorry, Roxas. Oh, at least Judo 2. At least Judo 2. Roxas could still probably win, but no. Oh, Judo 4. Don't put Judo 4 against anyone unless they're at least a Dragon Ball Z character. There you go. There you go. I plan to make an American version of Pokemon movie in the future, and when Pokemon is able to talk like humans, only be anthropomorphic characters and stuff. Well, we're getting there. Apparently Pikachu can talk, so whatever. Yoko Law versus Piccolo. Yoko would beat Piccolo. In a part of chapter 2, you'll see why. In a part of chapter 2, you'll see why. How far are you with Yoko? Have you gotten to? No, you're not in chapter 2 yet, are you? You're probably not in chapter 2 yet. You're definitely not in chapter 2 yet. But when you get into chapter 2, you'll see Yoko do something. Just know that thing that he pulls out, it's a lot powerful than you think. Hell of a lot more powerful. That's pretty much all I got to say about when it comes to Yoko Law versus Piccolo. Bakugan versus Beyblade. I don't know. I remember watching a lot of Beyblade, and I remember watching a lot of Bakugan. When it comes to their show and how entertaining they are, I think I bought more Beyblades than I bought Bakugan when I was growing up. Would you control fire or lightning, and why? I would control lightning because lightning is just hotter fire. It's plasma, dude. Like, straight up. Like, Azula had it right. She has blue flames, which is hotter than the initial flames that baseline, basic firebenders can use. And then she can summon lightning. Just, lightning? Come on, lightning. Lightning is, in my opinion, the evolution of fire. Because it's so much more hotter, and it's just plasma. Lightning. And because it looks cooler. I ship Trezzy x Roxy. Fight me. I ship Trezzy x John. Lol JK. Betty versus Scarecrow. Betty. Because Betty... Here's the thing about Scarecrow, and here's the thing about Betty. Betty is the encompassance. It is the embodiment of fear itself. You cannot fear. You cannot let fear something, because fear is fear itself. So, Scarecrow trying to gas up Betty wouldn't see nothing, because she is what encompasses other people's fear. However, Scarecrow is subjective, and can be subjective, to his own fear toxin, meaning that he has a weakness to people with the power to show people their worst nightmares. Betty will just do that, and Scarecrow is effed. Also, have you heard about the controversy of Pikachu talking and I literally just talked about it not too long ago. It definitely does need a wiki. Something that I'll never make. Because when I try to make it, I just can't do it. Because to make a wiki, I gotta be at least somewhat done with my story. I'm nowhere near finished. You thought chapter 1 was long? Those initial 12, 13 sketchbooks? Please. I'm only scratching the surface. I think, am I sketchbook 7 of chapter 2? I am nowhere near done. I have 3 major arcs in that. And we're just getting started with the first one. Hell no. I can't make a wiki because I need to be able to know everything that's going on. And when I make that wiki, I don't want it to, like, spoil some people in my story. It would, like, it'll ruin it for me, really. But definitely, yes, it does need a wiki, like, to help people out. But I already went over the Betty Noir versus DC thing. If you have something to say about that, just please tell me, and we can have a little back and forth about it, but not too much of a back and forth. This isn't that serious. Hey, my favorite fictional character are one of my favorite good motivations, backstories. It always bothers me. It always bothers me when a character personality is explained with "this is just the way they are." Yeah, I hate that too. Really hate that too. That's why I like Harada so much. At first, it's like she's emotionless. That's just the way she is. And then she grows to be an actual emotional character who learns how to emote and like things and express herself in better ways. And thanks to the main character. And it's like, yeah, I like that. And other characters, yeah, they all, every single character has a reason. Even Kurata herself, in her backstory, the backstory before she came to New York, about how she got like that. In fact, I'm really close to actually showing it, but not in the initial story. It's actually in a side story that I have neglected to finish for a long time now, and that is You Scratch My Back. I don't know if you guys read that, but it's not finished. It's actually not. So, the only reason why it's not finished is because I lost a few pages, and if I lose a few pages, I just lose motivation to continue something, because I find that very annoying. I don't want to redraw those pages, so, My favorite fictional character, okay. You should read Rave Master. Maybe I will. Maybe someday, maybe not. Ah, god damn it, Dashy. This is the problem. This is the problem of me just going down a list and not seeing things for a while. Whatever. Whenever I have time, I shall try to review your webcomics. Thanks, no problem. Yeah. You draw characters. Will you do how you draw characters from Nobody Cries for Nothing? Man, I would love to do that, but I don't think I have the necessary means to do it. I'll need to be able to have an actual screen recorder, but since I don't have, I have a screen recorder, obviously, with what I have with OBS Studios, but I also need a Cintiq or a reliable thing to be able to actually draw them, because people have been telling me that my style of art is actually interesting. It blends the lines between basic and also semi-complex, not like complex like like some masterwork shit, but like we're talking like DC, like the old DC cartoons back in the day, like Batman and the Superman shows and Justice League, how their designs and how the way that they're drawn is sort of like in a simplistic way, but it's well enough to give them a personality just like that, So I would love to be able to like show how I make every character and how I make every movement and stuff like that, but I don't think I have the necessary like equipment to do it right now. I'd love to though. I wish for Darkrai and Death Battle too. What if Gundam fights Optimus Prime, maybe? Oh, yeah, if Gundams fight Optimus Prime, it'll be a battle, definitely. It depends on which one. Like Big Zam? Big Zam's fun. I know the Dragonzord from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers would win a death battle. Dragonzord's pretty strong. I read Wikipedia, Sausage Party is having a possible sequel. Okay, well, alright. Almost the superpowers are almost the same. Yeah, again, it's just all depends on like how you encapsulate how you use said abilities. Like, not two fire users in the Marvel universe are not the exact same. Let's say the Fantastic Four's Human Torch versus like, man, I can't believe I can't think of another fucking fire user. But all fire users are not the same. They all have different traits to them, and that's why I admire and superpower. Human Torch from Marvel, whose power is fire too, will all protect Kosasi and the Glasses Girl. You rock them. My Little Witch Academia versus My Hero Academia crossover. Like, that'll be fun. Vision versus Martian Manhunter. Vision has an Infinity Stone. Vision has an Infinity Stone. I love myself some Martian Manhunter, but an Infinity Stone embedded into his friggin' forehead. Good luck with that, buddy. The Red Ranger is always the protagonist. Not really. Not really. That's why I like SPD Emergency. SPD's Emergency is Red Ranger isn't really the main character. The main character in it is actually the Blue Ranger. And that's why at the end of it, he becomes the Red Ranger. It was his story along with the Red Ranger himself, with the Blue Ranger having more of a development on how to accept the fact that he did not become the initial Red Ranger. So, take that. Power Ranger lore 101 master over here. At least because, SPD Emergency is my favorite one, so there's that. But I can believe you on, like, other senses of the Red Ranger being the main character. An American Pokemon starring Caden Compass, Kale Mitchell, and Jack Black. Your universe would be annihilated, the Ruby... your universe would be annihilated, the Ruby universe. They're not the same. Your universe would be annihilated, the Ruby universe. They're same. Annihilate? Annihilate? Would annihilate? Oh, wow. Sorry, dyslexia. Random 7272. Sorry, dyslexia. Your universe will annihilate the Ruby universe. They're not the same. Yeah, definitely. I meant that like in a story structure wise, not like power scaling. Definitely not. But you're right. Yeah, my characters, even currently right now in their current power they are right now, they could beat the Ruby universe. Okay. For people, hold on. I think I'm almost at the end here. What do you like on your pizza? Cheese. That's it. I'm actually just this plain cheese guy. Yeah, I'm boring. Shut up. Dio. That's right, JoJo. I have rejected my humanity. Pulls pineapple pizza. It definitely entered. Silver Surfer should definitely enter in Death Battle. No, I'm still in chapter 1. Nobody cries for nothing. I'm at the part where Mark is in, with Mark in space. Mark. He's a great guy. Can't wait to see his old backstory. He's gonna be great. I love Mark. I like how Mark was just a joke in the beginning. And he turned into an actual character that was like, at first Mark was just supposed to be this character. He was supposed to be just one guy. And then suddenly, boom, he's just, oh, okay, whatever. Oh, I love Mark. Judo's lights out for touching her crackback. Yeah, okay, yeah, I got you. I see where you are. Nice. I like this scene. Which character from Sonic is your favorite? Mine is Rouge the Back, Sonic himself, Knuckles, Silver, and Shadow. Shadow. And Blaze. There we go. Shadow and Blaze. Perfect couple. My favorite. Shadow Rouge, my favorites. Random question: do you use a comb or brush or anything of your sort, or do you just shampoo and take care of your hair? I do shampoo and conditioner some every other week when it comes to my hair. Doing it every day bothers me, and my hair, technically. And I pick it out. That's it. Ansem versus Xemnas. Xemnas, because Xemnas is the nobody of Ansem, but Ansem's power output and in his overall vulnerability is a lot more than Xemnas. Xemnas can teleport while Ansem is kind of just there, ready to take hits as then. Like, if you want like difficulty matters on gameplay wise, definitely Xemnas. This dude traps you in a room filled with nothing but lasers. If it wasn't for the fact that Sora and Riku are relativistic in speed, they would be dead. So it's like, But Ansem, he's fast, and he has Young Guardian, his own personal stand, Shadow Stand. But I don't think he can take on Xemnas. Nah. I gotta go anyway. It didn't make you uncomfortable anymore. Good. Merry Christmas, Dashi. Shang Fu needs to come back. Actually, Optimus Prime is mine. There's no pilot though. It's part alien and character needs the same history as Optimus. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, unless there's another robot out there that doesn't have a pilot. It's just like its own living thing that isn't another Transformer. Yeah. I thought Death Battle was gonna do this thing where it's gonna put like MOP characters against like the other characters of you know, Transformers, because Starscream versus Rainbow Dash was fun because, you know, Rainbow Dash is a powerful pony for her own likes and Starscream is pretty incompetent. But I don't see like the leader, our Twilight Sparkle, taking on Optimus Prime and actually coming out as a victor, unless you give her the buff that she gets from season 4 ending. Then yeah, but base level Twilight would be kind of like, I can't see her do it. I can see some way it being possible, but I can't really legitimately say that she can just beat Optimus. Like that would hurt me inside. Operation was my favorite. Power Rangers Ninja Storm focus on the Green Ranger in the later half. Yeah, like there are many occasions where Power Rangers itself likes to deviate from like other sorts of things. I like that. Power Rangers Wild Force is most favorite. Ladders or step ladders? Step ladders. Duh. Shadow and Rouge ain't really close age, so yeah, I like that. Master Xehanort versus Sephiroth. Xehanort versus Sephiroth, that's an interesting battle, but I still think Xehanort will come out on top. Xehanort's healing factor is, like, abysmal. In forms of canon. If you're talking about, like, his health bar not, like, recharging or something like that. In canon, he knows how to take a lot of punishment. Sephiroth, however, we're talking, like, base form Sephiroth. If we're talking base form Sephiroth in the games of Final Fantasy VII, definitely Xemnas. Xehanort. Yeah, definitely Xehanort. However, I cannot say the same thing for, like, maybe, like, actual Kingdom Hearts Sephiroth. Kingdom Hearts Sephiroth is overpowered. Like, too overpowered. Like, way overpowered. Like, incredibly overpowered. Too overpowered. Voltron versus Gundam. Voltron. Voltron is the defender of the entire galaxy. I don't think one Gundam can take him down. Remember, Naminé was the true wife of Kingdom Hearts. Could Cloud Stripe should return to Death Battle for a second chance. Yeah, he should. I did find it kind of odd that he lost to Link, but I can see how Link could win. It was just kind of weird. What's kind of weird? Are you just throwing out whatever, try to keep the stream going? I think probably. Ultron versus Megatron. Ultron. Wait, which Ultron? We're talking about movie Ultron or comic book Ultron? Because comic book Ultron has a way better chance of beating him. But yeah, I think I reached the bottom of the stream, which that usually means it's about time for me to end it. So there's that. There was something I was meaning to say. Oh yeah, my character is in the universe of the Tournament of Power. Is anyone interested in that in any way? Because I do want to kind of talk about how that entire thing works, at least in the best way possible without indicating spoilers. But if you want the stream to go on, I can explain that. Unless you have like an actual legitimate question to ask me. Either way, I'm rather end the stream. I actually have some packing to still need to do. Because I had this thought in my head about how my 10 fighters would do in the matter. And I actually find it pretty interesting. And I will use placeholders. I'm gonna use placeholders for names that you shouldn't know yet. That you shouldn't know yet. So Merry Christmas, Yater. Catch you later, Cody. Merry Christmas. Who are the 10 people in your story who can win in the Tournament of Power? Okay, the initial person is chapter 3 Judo. The initial thing is chapter 3 Judo. Claire, who have yet to see, but she exists in the story. Olive, Mino, Daisuke, Hikaru, Stanford, and the last three are characters. And the last three are Bob, Jim, and Gordon. As you can see, the last three names are placeholders. Because those are names you cannot know yet. But Bob has the ability to manipulate his blood. Okay? He can manipulate his blood, and his blood is a very powerful substance. It's not just regular blood, it's like superpowered blood. Alright? Jim, or I guess that's the other placeholder name, has attributes like Karada, as in he can jump around and like push his limits, unlike before. Kind of like Karada. But not exactly like. He has some variations and more maneuverability within his movements. And the last one has is Sabaru, actually. Is Sabaru. I can actually say that one. Sabaru is going to be part of the story. You don't know him yet, but he's part of the story. It's not much of a spoiler. And Sabaru. So, you got those names. You got those. Those are my manipulating his blood. Interesting. Yeah. He goes, like, the defined feature of him is that he has one of his arms chopped off, and he manipulated his blood just to be the arm now. Like, his entire hand is just his blood now, and he uses that to his advantage. So let's say you're from far away distance, he's going to throw his arm and manipulate his arm blood, kind of like Piccolo in a sense, where it's just him manipulating his blood to grab you and pull you there. How the entire situation works is that Sabaru, you don't know who Sabaru is, but just know that he's a very defensive tank-like character who pretty much defends against light speed-like attacks and movements because his reaction time is light speed. Sabaru and the guy who controls blood stay at the corner of the arena, and you just have him jab his hand into the ground, allowing his blood to circulate through the arena. It's going to take a long time since it's Kachin. It's going to take a long time for him to penetrate the surface. That's why he's having Sabaru defend him throughout the entire thing. Why is he doing this? Just to bring out the ending. He's going to bring the entire arena down. That's it. That's all you need. The only Lightspeed characters, the only faster than Lightspeed characters are the angels of the story. And that's it. Mino, Olive, Daisuke, and Hikaru. They're Lightspeed because they're angels. They pretty much, they are the infatuate of light itself. So it's like that. I'd want to talk about this more. I would want to talk about this more once I get into the characters a lot more, definitely. But the ending result led to the guy who controlled his blood to get rid of the entire arena, thus having all the people who can't fly pretty much be screwed. But since I have 4 angels on my side who can already react to a lot of the characters' attacks, being able to fly and be perfectly okay with it. In fact, if you watch the current episode of Dragon Ball Super, that's exactly what the guy they beat did. We're trying to do. So that's it. Yeah, I watch Dragon Ball Super. I watch it. I don't watch it like how I like a religiously kind of guy. I only watch episodes that I find interesting. Like, really. And thanks to the fact that after the Ultra Instinct fight, most of the episodes have been interesting. But like, if you're talking like in the past, like the first few arcs, I haven't been watching like at all. Yeah, we definitely need a wiki. Yeah. But we're going to end off the stream here. It's been a good 2 hours. We've had our Merry Christmases. And I'm happy that you guys were here to indulge me in my time of loneliness because I'm the only one in this apartment complex at this point. I'm the last one to leave from my family. Yeah, it's a shame. I know. I cry every time. Sheds a single tear. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I gotten done with some reactions, and I'm hoping to post them out once I get into New Orleans. And that's about it. So, yeah. This is Do1Me Universe. I'll see you guys next time. And I'll hopefully see you for the next stream. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do a stream when I'm in New Orleans. So, if I am MIA, that's because I'm in New Orleans and they probably I can't use their internet, or I'm just don't have time. So, that's about it. So, yeah. See you guys later. And keep reading the story. If you want to do your own thing, your own reviews. Yeah. Yeah, if you want to do your own reviews, do that, and I'll get started. And maybe, probably, hopefully, maybe, who knows. Maybe if you get past Chapter 1 and get into Chapter 2, I might actually have inspiration to continue on the story. Because I've been looking for inspiration for a while. And having another person give me comments and review feedback on it might actually help. I'll see you later, random. Bye.